My goodness, what a time we've had. Obviously, and so the end is near, and now he faces financial ruin and regrets. I don't have any, just like money. I also don't have any new way to show everything. Let's just sing it along, folks. The biggest city you've ever been in. And I broomed out the Italians so the Russians and the Chinese could move in. I did it Rudy's way. So in case you haven't heard, and I hope you haven't, so that I get to break it to you. Rudy Giuliani just got found liable for $148 million. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, if I may, $148 million. You can't go wrong. You can't do it. Hold on, I got to put this in here so I can see the chat room. $148 million. The original was 25, and then 48, and it was the idea, the overall number, and then they stacked on top of it another $100 million. Now, why did they do that? Basically, so that they could clean him out, because he ruined their lives. So here's the thing: you want to talk about like one-to-one justice? This dude ruined their lives, got death threats happened against them because of this asshole. They had to move. They're probably going to end up having to change their name. They're going to have to look over their shoulder the rest of their fucking life because of this asshole. Even when they think they're amongst friends and stuff, there's some lunatic fuckwad, Trumpy 8 years from now that might walk up to one of them and go, "Hi, remember me?" That kind of shit. And they have to live with that idea for fucking ever. And that's why this asshole is getting this kind of amount, by the way. Do debtors' prisons still exist? No, they do not. Anyways, this is him walking out of the court. Let's have a listen. But before we do that, by the way, there's the chat room. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. How you doing? Yeah, he's getting his just due. That's right, Mark Kremer. Don't forget, Trump was spreading this as well. Oh, I agree. But he didn't specifically nail them all the time. He talked about election workers. He said about what was on the video, but it was Rudy that named them specifically and drew and narrowed that focus to them and kept on it. And again, did it again right outside of court. Like, Trump has dropped it. He said, like, he's pulled back entirely from these women did this thing to there's video. You can see video. And if he gets put in front of in a court of law, they'll go, "What video were you talking about?" He's like, 2,000 mules, right? He'll fall back to that. Rudy can't fucking say that. Rudy is just genuinely fucked. As he should be. Thank you, Alicia, for the super chat. Bless you. Super chats really help. They keep the show afloat, as do our patrons. Patreon.com/HalSparks. And I want to thank you guys again for the prompter. I got one of the Elgato prompters thanks to you guys. And it's now in front of the camera, so I can look right at the chat as it's happening instead of having to crane my neck up as I had to do to read what was going on and then refer and then read and refer. And so this is much better, I think. It is the least you can do. I don't think so, Mud Lake Slim. I think people could do a lot less, so I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. Here's how it works. Thank you. Thank you guys for your eyeballs and your time and your support and your caring about this thing continuing, because I started it as a hobby and I wanted it to help everybody during the lockdown and all that kind of stuff, and it turned into a thing, because of you guys. And by the way, if I may, somebody just dropped a super chat in there too. Yeah, there you go. Vincent, thank you. Just to round off the efforts. Bless you so much. So thank you guys. I mean it. And see how easy that is? See how easy it is to just say thank you instead of say, "I want to thank." Okay, you guys know this drives me fucking crazy. We'll get to it later because it kind of comes up. Okay, back to Rudy. So Rudy decides, and again, I don't know why anybody's surprised that this asshole is talking like this out of here, because he's fucked already. Like, even if the appeals court knocks it down by half, It's still twice what he thought he was going to pay in the first fucking place. And then, I mean, they're going to have a hell of a time squeezing it out of him. They're going to be chasing this motherfucker down for this money forever. But they're going to get the apartment and sell it. Oh, thank you, Erica. They're going to get the apartment and sell it. They're going to get any physical assets he still has. Yeah. Super good. So here we go. This is him. And so it doesn't matter. Like, he can be an asshole from this point on. And unlike Trump and the E. Jean Carroll case, even, you know, Trump came out and defamed her again, and he was fined $5 million. Now he's going to get hit with another 15 or something like that. Ultimately, like, with this ruling, I wouldn't be surprised if it went way fucking up, because he literally, right after he paid it, went, fuck it. It's like chump change to me. And they're like, all right, well, we're definitely going to have to rule against, you're going to have to pay something that ain't chump change then. What's the number? 100 million? What's your version? What's, you know, if 5 million to a regular rich person, if that's the amount that somebody would shut the fuck up and stop defaming somebody, what's your number, rich guy? 100, 200? Let's just keep going up until you shut the fuck up, right? I mean, he's guilty. This isn't about, again, him being found innocent or found, like, yeah. No. All right, here we go. This is him coming out of the courtroom. Yeah, it is. Also, there's these people waiting outside every day with the signs for him. One says "big lie," and I can't read the other one. They're there all the time. Yeah, they hold it a little too high for the camera. They ought to lower it, recognizing that the cameras are shooting Rudy. You know what I mean? It's good for the people to see it, and photographers will see it better. Also, he faces a few press people or whatever. But think about for a second. This guy was fucking America's mayor. He's just been found liable for $148 million. And there's not a throng of fucking people that are like, I still appreciate what he did on 9/11, and therefore, everybody's gone. Oh, there's our truck. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Should I go here? No. No, you should not.
119. Steven, come over here.
Oh, God. Even this dude fucking with his zipper makes me... Jesus Christ. This is the guy who was telling his assistant, like, those are my tits, like a year ago. Bring those... I get jealous if anybody else gets those tits. Remember that bullshit? That poor woman? Fucking hell. I mean, I suppose you should always check. But it shouldn't take that long. What are you doing, Johnny? I'm checking to see if my zipper's down. No one needs a half hour for that, Johnny. Now go sit down.
I read a damn thing.
He goes, do you regret anything? He says, I don't regret a damn thing. Here's just generally, if you've been through this whole thing and you've been found guilty and you've been, the judgment is you have to pay them $148 million, you should regret something. You know what I mean? Like how you worded it, how you were lazy and dumb with your language and unspecific, and that you held back your quote unquote evidence or some shit. 148. Yeah.
Of course, there's very, very little I can say right now. I have to analyze this.
Yeah, that's his analyzing face. I'm analyzing this. Hold on, give me a second while I analyze this. I'm fucked. Analysis over. Ah, shit.
Obviously,
I don't have that kind of money that you know of.
Possibly we'll move for a new trial. Certainly we'll appeal.
What happened to the rest of that guy's head? What's that hairdo? What is that called? What kind of neo-Nazi fucking frontal shag situation is going on there? It's like a Nazi mullet. I don't know what's happening. What is happening? Seriously. The dude obviously has, you can tell by the stubble, he's got enough hair to cover his fucking head. What is that? What's going on? That's one of his attorneys?
Absurdity of the number.
What do you think? This is my haircut for when I don't expect anyone will ever be behind me.
merely underscores the absurdity of the entire proceeding, where I've not been allowed to offer one single piece of evidence in defense.
Okay, he blew off discovery. He failed to file shit. Bullshit. And you don't offer evidence in the damages part of it. That was what the other one was for, and you did fuck all. What evidence? What evidence? There is none. These women did nothing wrong. The state offered evidence. The entire video of those women working that night, the night in question when you said they pulled out a suitcase and they were handing USBs, the sticks back and forth like they're heroin, all that shit. Right? The state brought in people from Georgia and all these places that said officially, like, no, they weren't, nothing was irregular that night. Here's the ballots. We know that we did a recount on these. It was exactly the way they said it was. Nothing was added extra. Yeah.
Of which I have a lot.
No, you don't. If you have it, what the fuck were you waiting for?
So I am quite confident when this case gets before a fair tribunal.
Okay, so that's a qualifier. He doesn't think there'll ever be a fair tribunal because everybody will go, your evidence doesn't pass muster, and it still doesn't give you the excuse to target these women as the attorney for the president of the United States.
It'll be reversed so quickly, it'll make your head spin.
Yeah, no, people's heads don't spin anymore. Honest to God, we're not cartoon characters. There aren't double takes that fast anymore. Like, that's a dead phrase. It's almost as dead as at the end of the day, because at the end of the day is nighttime. And
the absurd number that just came in.
Is exactly. He just said the number, like, just hashtag the number, and that guy went into analyzing mode. Don't even bring up how much he lost, because everybody
will help that, actually.
Why did you choose not to testify?
Why do you think it was unfair?
Why did you choose not to testify?
You say it was an unfair tribunal. Why do you think it was unfair?
Because I cannot go into the details.
I cannot go into the details without incriminating myself entirely and adding on top of this and basically joining Trump in the double down court where they're sending me next.
I didn't testify because the judge made it clear that if I made any mistake or did anything wrong, she was considering contempt, and this...
What? Made any mistake? No. You don't get contempt for fucking mistakes, dummy. You get contempt for lying. You didn't testify because you could not testify without lying. You couldn't do the truth. You couldn't certainly do the whole truth. And God knows you couldn't do nothing but the truth. That's why. You couldn't take the oath and satisfy the oath. It wouldn't even matter what the fuck you said after.
Judge does have a reputation
for taking the oath seriously.
For putting people in jail. And I thought,
as someone who would commit a crime if I was testifying under oath, I thought best not to do it.
Honestly, it wouldn't do any good.
Do you still believe that what you said about these two women in the wake of the 2020 election was truthful?
Do you still believe these claims?
Still believe those
I have no doubt. I have no doubt that my comments were made and they were supportable and are supportable today.
Aha! So this is his fallback for the appeal. They're supportable. They didn't turn out to be true, but I had reason to believe they were true when I said them. The problem was they could be supportable on January 1st, and then you could learn something on January 2nd where they're no longer supportable, and then you say it again on January 3rd, and that from that point on, you're a crimin'. You're defaming somebody. You're guilty, you asshole. That's what he's talking about. That's a dodge.
I just did not.
The shit about like Hunter Biden saying financially because Joe wasn't financially involved in his business, because that's what business is. You either make money for or give money to or invest in or get, a return from a business. That's what makes it a business, right? So financially is the be all end all of whether you're involved in a business. You know, again, unless you're Ronald McDonald, I guess. That's the brand argument. But this asshole knows exactly that he's saying they're supportable. They're supportable when I started saying them, because I started saying them early before anybody could possibly know. And then when the facts came in, I still said them because I could reference back to when I was dumber. I had fewer facts than I have right now. It's just fucking bullshit. Yeah, like this is the this is just aggravating. Hold on one second. Yeah. Say supportable again. Say supportable again. That was a request.
Not have an opportunity to present the evidence that we offered. Did you notice?
Nonsense. He absolutely did. He blew off discovery.
We were not allowed to put in one piece of evidence in defense. Do you also realize?
No. You were never denied the ability to put in evidence in defense. You don't have any. Also, his cyborg assistant is glitching out. I'm just saying. He's got Katy Perry eyeball.
That liability is not based on any trial. Liability is based on her disagreement with me on discovery, which is absurd.
What did they not discover? That you're an asshole? Believe me, they knew.
Hey, we gotta go.
Because
they're like, hey, we got to get going before he's going to lose more money. We got the fuck out of here, man.
I believe the judge was threatening me with the strong possibility that I'd be held in contempt.
If you willingly and knowingly lied.
Or that I'd even be put in jail. So
for lying.
It didn't seem like it was going to do much to persuade anybody, and it could give her what she seemed to be threatening.
Did you believe the women?
It could give her what she seemed to be threatening. It could give her an opportunity to get me to lie on the record, and therefore, Jesus Christ.
Do you have any regrets about
That's all I have to say. I have
any regrets about some of the comments that the woman received?
Hey, we gotta get going.
We do need to get going.
Do you have any
Yikes.
regrets about some of the comments that the women received?
Well, of course, the comments they received I had nothing to do with. Those comments are abominable. They're deplorable. No defense to it, but I receive comments like that every day.
No, he does not.
Different
bullshit
kinds of things.
Yeah. Did anybody call you a dead N-word? You get that one every day, Rudy? Must be tough. Shut the fuck up.
Represented clients who have
this motherfucker doesn't even look at his own email.
Gotten that from the other side. This is a terrible part of our political system. Republicans, Democrats, liberals, and conservatives all get that. My comments weren't that. And I think that was also a very unfair part of it, because my comments had no connection at all to those. There were thousands of things in the press about this, of which mine were a small amount.
Okay, you were the president's lawyer and the point person for the president to attack them. And you did it as they were the linchpin in your example of how the election in Georgia specifically was stolen. And you didn't cite the system and fucking machines and all the bullshit you were saying in the courts. You blamed these two women specifically out of, I think, 6 people that were working that night. Those two women, those two black women, you soloed them out. You said their name multiple times, you dumb motherfucker.
There's no way to say that my comments connected to that, but that's...
Yeah, there is.
Going to be part of what we'll get to litigate in a fair court. Thank you.
Is that behavior that you will officially condemn, sir?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
She's like, is that a behavior you want to officially condemn? No. He needs those people that are threatening those women to support him through the rest of this horse shit.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Guys, make a hole, make a hole.
This gentleman is being very bad. Thanks. That's one of Rudy's lawyers. This gentleman is being very bad. That guy is, because he's not getting out of the way fast enough? Because you're trying to get to your car all of a sudden because you decided to bug the fuck out?